Welcome to the first video in this series on getting more customers to your restaurant. In this first video, I'll show you how customers find or don't find your restaurant. How does a restaurant business actually grow and thrive year after year? We speak to established restaurant owners every day, and we ask them, what would it take to move the needle in the right direction in your business? Every established restaurant owner knows that in order for your business to grow and thrive, it has to do two things. First, you must consistently attract new, first-time visitors to grow your customer base. And second, you must boost profits by converting new visitors into loyal, lifelong customers of your restaurant. Okay, so how can your restaurant actually move the needle when it comes to getting more customers and keeping them coming back? Should you continue to rely on traditional marketing tactics like investing in costly print and radio advertising? Well, the costs of these channels are continuing to rise, and their effectiveness is worse than ever. People simply tune them out. Or how about hiring a PR firm to land you some high-profile reviews in food columns? Well, the truth is that you never know what you're going to get when it comes to PR, and whatever buzz that does come of it will be short-lived. Customers have moved to the web in a big way. Marketing is no longer about pushing your brand on consumers. It's about customers finding you. And understanding how your customers do that is the key to attracting them to your door. So here in this first video, I'm going to show you exactly how your customers are using the web to search for restaurants just like yours. By the way, who am I? I'm Brian Castle. I'm a professional web designer by trade, and I'm the founder of Restaurant Engine. So thanks for joining me today, and I'll be your guide through this series of videos. Now let's dig into what I have for you today. So it's all about your customers. What do we know about how your customers behave today? Well, here are a few numbers that I think paint a really good picture. And these come from a recent study done by a customer research firm, Chadwick, Martin & Bailey. 92%. 92% of customers say that they use the internet to find a new restaurant to try. I mean, wow. People basically live online these days. This number alone should show you why your restaurant's presence on the web is so critical in the eyes of your customers. But I've got a few more numbers for you. Out of all local businesses that people are searching for online, such as doctors, beauty salons, car dealers, people search online for restaurants far more than any other business type. As this study shows, the number on the left, restaurants and cafes, is almost double the amount of search volume compared to the next ones like doctors and general shops and clothing stores. People always turn to the internet to look for restaurants. 81%. That's how many people say that they're using a mobile device to search for restaurants online. Everybody knows that the industry has moved online and to the web. But now we know that the web has moved out of our homes and into the palms of our hands with smartphones and tablets. Mobile is now mainstream, and we see this number rise every single year. I'll tell you much more about mobile optimization in the next video. 80%. That's how many people say that they look at your food menu online before deciding to come in and dine at your restaurant. Now, this is a really interesting number because it shows us that just having a website isn't enough. It needs to give customers the info that they need to make an informed decision. Most notably, they're looking for your food menu. I mean, look, my wife and I, we love to go out and try new restaurants and be surprised from time to time. But most of us prefer to glance over the menu before we choose a place. And this is especially true if we're entertaining friends or if folks are choosing a restaurant for a first date and so on. They want to check out the food menu before they settle on the right restaurant for them. 84% say that they're likely to compare more than one restaurant before making a decision. So if you thought that your competition are just the restaurants next door or down the block, think again. Your customers are comparing you by comparing your website alongside hundreds of others in your local area. It's more important than ever to make sure that your website gives them what they need in order to make an informed decision. Because if a visitor arrives on your website and they can't find what they're looking for, they will immediately hit that back button and move on to the next restaurant in their list. And once this happens, they almost never return. Okay, so now let's talk specifics. You know how customers are overwhelmingly turning to the web to search for restaurants just like yours. But how exactly are they doing that? Let's take a look. The first way that customers use the web is, of course, using Google search. Google is still the #1 search engine used by customers on the web. Now, how do customers actually use Google to find restaurants? What do they actually type in that search box? Well, if they already know the name of your restaurant, if they're already familiar with it, then they might want quick and easy access to get back to your website, maybe to check out the latest food menu. So they might search in Google for your restaurant's name rather than trying to remember what your website URL is. This should bring up your website in the top 1 or 2 positions in Google. But chances are they haven't heard of your restaurant before, as is the case with most new customers looking for a new place to try. So in this case, customers might search for the type of cuisine plus their city name. For example, Thai food in Boston or pizza delivery Akron, Ohio. Now, showing up on page 1 of Google for this type of search is a little bit more competitive, but it's not impossible, assuming that your website is optimized using all of the best practices. I'll tell you more about search engine optimization in the 3rd video, so stay tuned for that. Now, there's one more interesting thing about Google, which many people aren't aware of, and that is Google's search results are now localized. What that means is that depending on where you physically are, the search results will be tailored to the things that are nearby. So when a customer is standing in downtown San Diego and they search for Mexican food, Google will show a list of Mexican restaurants located in and around downtown San Diego. Pretty cool, huh? Now, the next way that people are using the web to find you is, of course, Google Maps. Maps have come into extremely wide use by just about everyone these days. That's mostly because Google Maps are integrated on all mobile devices. In fact, the Maps feature is one of the most widely used features on smartphones. Pretty obvious, right? I mean, you're out and about looking for a place to eat. It's so easy to just pull up your Maps app and type in your favorite cuisine and see what comes up. That's another type of search that a lot of customers are doing to find restaurants. Google Maps are also integrated with Google Search. So remember how I told you that Google search results are localized? Well, those local search results also show the map alongside the results. And finally, Google now pulls in even more data when customers search specifically for restaurants. Now, when you search for any type of restaurant in Google, customers are presented with a map, reviews, and a link back to your website. That is assuming you've optimized your listing using all of the best practices, which we'll get more into in video 3. For example, last week I searched for burgers here in my town of Norwalk, Connecticut, and this is what came up. As you can see, Google now integrates lots of information about restaurants, including their location, reviews, and much more. And if we were to click on one of these, you'll get even more information, including the link back to the restaurant's website. Now, another major way that customers are using the web to find your restaurant are through popular directories. Yelp, Urban Spoon, menu pages, these are among the most popular, but there are a lot more of them. And customers don't only access these through their websites, like going to yelp.com or urbanspoon.com. They install the Yelp app on their phone. And all of these services actually offer their own mobile app that customers like to install on their phones. Plus, many of them integrate with other services. For example, all Apple iPhones now pull up Yelp listings when customers are using the Apple Maps feature or when they use Apple's Siri feature. So just talking into an Apple iPhone will bring up Yelp results. So it's super important that your restaurant's listings are optimized and up to date in these directories. And of course, to ensure that your website is linked on all of your listings. Now, you may not control what people write in their reviews on Yelp, but you do own and control your own website. And that's where people will go to make their final decision about whether or not to try your restaurant. Another big way that customers are finding you on the web is social media. Connecting with customers online is about meeting them where they already are. Facebook is, of course, the most widely used social network, which is why so many restaurants make a point of keeping a steady presence on Facebook. Twitter and Google Plus and others are becoming more and more important as well. As always, your presence on social media should integrate and link customers back to your website where they can check out your food menu, make a reservation, or place an order. And we'll cover much more on social media in the upcoming videos. And email. It's still one of the most powerful ways that customers interact with your business on the web. When you connect with customers in their email inbox, you have their full attention. It's also a fantastic way to build a long-lasting relationship with your most loyal customers. Now remember, that second key to a growing, thriving business is to boost that customer lifetime value, getting more repeat customers. And email plays a huge role in that. Again, we'll dive much deeper into using email marketing in the upcoming videos. Now in the next video, I'm going to teach you tried and true strategies to transform your restaurant's website into a customer magnet. Because a strong web presence isn't just one that visitors can easily find online, but one that actually converts those visitors into customers. So look out for that next video coming to your email inbox this week. Now, as I said, here at Restaurant Engine, we work with restaurants every single day, helping them maintain a strong web presence that attracts more customers. So here's why our customers use Restaurant Engine to power their online presence. We give you a high-quality website designed by professionals. You wouldn't skimp on quality when it comes to your ingredients or your restaurant's decor, would you? Well, we hold your web presence to that same high standard. And everything is optimized. And here's what that means. Your website is optimized for mobile, including all smartphones and tablets. It's optimized for search engines like Google and Bing. And most of all, it's optimized for converting visitors into loyal customers. And finally, our reliable, done-for-you support. From our 5-day setup process to making ongoing updates, our team is here to help whenever you need us. No more paying your local web guy by the hour. Our support is always included. And here are just a few examples of what your website could look like. And here's what one of our customers, Gloria from Bobby O's BBQ, had to say. The price is incredibly low, and it's allowed our restaurant to add online ordering that our customers love. Our site now receives compliments every day, and Restaurant Engine makes my job a lot easier. So learn more about how we can help your restaurant attract more customers by joining our next live workshop. You can get all of your questions answered in our live Q&A. Register for free by going to restaurantengine.com/workshop. Stay tuned for the next video.